Welcome back to another video of excretory products and their elimination. So this is part 2 of that chapter. So in this we are going to learn about mechanism of concentration of the filtrate, which is known as counter current, and next regulation of the kidney functions and micturition, and next the other roles in the excretion, and next is the disorders. So let's complete this in within 10 minutes or less than 10 minutes. So filtrate in the Henle's loop and blood in the vasa recta are in the opposite direction forms countercurrent. So help in increasing osmolarity towards the inner medullary interstitium. When you compare cortex and inner medulla of osmolarity, cortex is of 300 and inner medulla is of 1200. It means the osmolarity increases when we move from outer part to the inner part of the kidney, like cortex to the medulla. So the gradient caused by the NaCl and urea. So flow of NaCl is from ascending limb of Henle's loop to descending limb of vasa recta and moves into the ascending limb of vasa recta and next to the interstitium, the space around the vasa recta or the loop of Henle. And then when we come to urea, present in a thin ascending Henle's loop which moves into the collecting duct and next to the interstitium. So urine is also known as a concentrated filtrate. So when you compare GFR, so GFR per 1 minute is 125 milliliters and per day is 180 liters, right? So then after that we get excreted urine per day is 1.5 to 1 liters. So see the concentration, like the GFR and the concentrated urine. So it is 4 times concentrated than the initial filtrate formed. Role of regulation of the kidney functions, monitored and regulated by hypothalamus JGA, which is juxtaglomerular apparatus, and heart. So change in blood volume or body fluid volume activates the osmoreceptors. So if there is change in like a excess loss of H2O, that is fluid, water fluid, so it regulates hypothalamus from neurohypophysis, and then it secretes antidiuretic hormone, which is known as ADH or vasopressin. So what does it do? Reabsorbs H2O and prevent diuresis. So this is constrictory blood vessels, which increases the BP. It means blood pressure, whereas glomerular blood flow also increases, therefore GFR also increases. And next is if glomerular blood flow decreases, BP decreases or blood flow decreases, it activates JGA cells. So it activates JGA cells and release renin. So this renin acts on the angiotensinogen and converts into the tensin 1 and next to the angiotensin 2. So angiotensin 2 is a terrific vasoconstrictor. So it has two directions in this, which does the same function, like increases blood pressure or increases blood flow. Glomerular blood pressure increases and then GFR increases. If GFR and next is the another part of the same angiotensinogen 2 activates adrenal cortex and this adrenal cortex releases aldosterone. Due to this aldosterone, reabsorption of NaCl and water takes place, and which increases blood pressure as well as GFR also increases. And next is the ANF mechanism. So this mechanism is also known as renin angiotensin. Next, ANF mechanism. In ANF mechanism, it is done in the heart atria. So if blood flow increases in atria, that is right atria, atrial natriuretic factor, that is ANF, releases vasodilation. So this gets released, like ANF gets released and vasodilation occurs. It means dilation of the veins or the capillaries gets dilated. Due to that, the pressure decreases and decreases the blood flow, and therefore acts as a check on the renin angiotensin mechanism. And next is the micturition. The process of urine is known as micturition. So the signals from CNS move to stretching on the urinary bladder, which is filled with the urine, and this sends signal to CNS, and this CNS sends signals to motor signals, sensory signals. Next, the motor signals from CNS. Then contraction of smooth muscle of the bladder occurs here, and then the relaxation of urethral sphincters. So this release urine. So this process is known as micturition. So per day 1 to 1.5 liters of urine is excreted. See how concentrated urine excreted is, this much per day. GFR is 180. It's too concentrated. It means 4 times concentrated than the initial filtrate. So it has characteristic odor, and the color is light yellow watery fluid, and pH is slightly acidic, that is 0.6.0. And next we excrete 25 to 30 grams per day. That is, urea is excreted 20 to 30 grams per day and used in clinical dialysis, like metabolic disorders or malfunctioning of the kidney is done by the sample of the urine. And if urine contains glucose, then it is glucosuria. If it contains ketone bodies, then it is ketonuria. So this indicates diabetes milliliters. And the role of other organs in excretion, like lungs, liver and skin. Lungs remove water and also CO2. So mainly it removes CO2 and also water, approximately 200 ml per minute. Then calculate and tell me per day in comment box. Liver, largest gland. So liver is the largest gland in our body, and the largest organ on our body is, just comment in the comment box for these two questions. And secretes, it also secretes bile, like bilirubin and biliverdin. So it also contains, like, secretes vitamin, cholesterol drugs and degrades steroidal hormones. So pass out only with the digestive waste. This all pass out with the digestive waste excretion. That is also an excretion. And next, when we come to the skin, so skin it secretes sweat and sebum. Sweat is through sweat glands, sebum is to the sebaceous glands. So sweat contains NaCl, little amount of urea and lactic acid, and the primary function of the sweat is to cool down the body surface. And next, sebaceous gland is for sterols. It secretes sterols, hydrocarbons, wax through the sebum. So this was the first page which we completed just now, and the second page we have disorders. So this is hemodialysis process, where the kidney fails, then the hemodialysis is done. Let me adjust this in front. Yeah. In hemodialysis, the blood is taken from the artery and next removed out of the body, added little amount of heparin, which is anticoagulant, and the blood is passed into this fallopian tube which has small pores, and this is the dialysing unit. This box is known as dialysing unit. So dialysing unit has a cellophane tube plus a dialysing fluid which doesn't contain any nitrogenous waste in it. So together is known as dialysing unit. This dialysing unit is also known as artificial kidney. So this fluid, like all the bad fluid or the nitrogenous waste comes out in this and be collected in this box. And next it is passed out into the vein, where there is a bubble trap which traps all the bubbles out and sends the blood before entering into the vein. And antiheparin is added to it and sent into the vein. So kidney transplantation is ultimate method for the acute renal filtrate or the kidney failure. Acute renal failures or kidney failure. To maintain change in the re- so may to minimize change in the rejection, preferably a close relative should be taken as a donor, where the chances of tissue and the antigen antibody, all the reactions happen in the body. So we need to choose the donor from our relatives or closest relatives. So uremia, accumulation of urea in blood is known as uremia, may lead to the kidney failure. In such case, urea removed by hemodialysis. Just now I said that. And the renal calculi, stones or insoluble crystallized salts are present in the urine, in the kidney, then that is known as renal calculi. And the example of the salts is oxalates, whereas need to reduce eating tomatoes and brinjal, which has a high amount of oxalates in it. Glomerulonephritis, this is another disorder of the kidney. Inflammation of glomeruli of kidney occurs here. Here we end with this chapter. Thanks for watching. Bye.